Hey, it's been a while since I've actually made a video. As you can see, I'm sitting here in an empty room, and I'll talk about why in a little bit here. A lot's gone on in like the past month and a half. Last time when I made my first video, I was talking about how I was getting ready to start on Clomid. Well, I did take Clomid for 5 days, and that's just supposed to help you ovulate for people that have PCOS. Well, it didn't go so well, and I've heard other women talk about taking it, and I haven't heard too many people complain about the side effects of it, and I didn't really experience any side effects while I was taking it. The only one was that I was getting really bad night sweats or hot flashes. So I thought that the symptoms would only be confined to those 5 days, but I was wrong. For the next few weeks, I was just so emotional and down, and it really wasn't going too well. So then I ended up, for October 24th was my birthday, and for that weekend we went to Nashville to celebrate. So we went up there, and it was a pretty cool trip. We had a good time. We didn't really hear any music because we don't really like country music. But anyway, I mean, they say there's all different kinds of music there too, but we just didn't really get a chance. So that was a pretty good trip, but my back was hurting during the whole trip, and I was kind of worried about it. We drove my husband's car because my brakes are about to go out on my car, and his car is like a sport compact car, and it's an Acura, which it's basically a Honda, and their suspension is usually really tight, so it's really bumpy. Well, that only made my back feel worse. Well, by the time we got home on Sunday night, my husband had gone out. He does an open mic night every Sunday night. Well, a friend of mine came over, which is usually what we do, and we were sitting there at the kitchen table, and when I got up, I couldn't get up. I couldn't even move. It was like I was parallel to the floor. So something like that happened before many years ago, and I just kind of waited it out, but my husband insisted that I go to the emergency room. We ended up at the emergency room for like 6 hours. It was hell. And they wouldn't even give me a bed or anything to wait on. So anyway, for the next 2 weeks I was pretty much on my ass. I mean, at the beginning, you know, not to sound gross or anything, but I couldn't even wipe my own ass. Like, it was really, it was bad. And plus they had put me on, you know, muscle relaxers and hydrocodone, and of course that kind of stuff just totally knocks me out. So I probably was sleeping on average like 15 or 20 hours each one of those days. So anyway, that was all kind of traumatic, and it was really difficult, and I was just crying a whole lot, and it was bad because when I was getting so emotional, like when Barack Obama won, you know, I don't know what anyone's politics are, but I was really happy about it, and I was really touched by the fact that we made history. And I was just crying and crying and crying and crying and crying, and my husband kept saying, "You've got to be pregnant because, I mean, you know, this is just not like you." Well, anyway, so, you know, it sucks when you think to yourself, well, if I'm pregnant and I'm crying, then it's worth it. You know, it's fine. I wouldn't mind. And then you take the pregnancy test and you're not. So anyway, long story short, it's been a long, rocky road. And the reason I'm sitting in this empty room here, my husband and I have lived in this house for 3 years, and we've always kept this room empty and called it the baby room. And this is, you know, where we always assumed that this would be our children's room, or, you know, our baby's room. Well, brings me to the decision that I've made. I've decided, because we've gone through so much to get pregnant and everything, that after I complete the Clomid cycles that my doctor says I can take, I think I'm going to go ahead and give up on getting pregnant. Yeah, I know that sounds kind of negative or whatever, but it's actually put me in a very positive place, because I have a great life. You know, I mean, there's really no reason for me to be so upset all the time about not having a child. You know, I have a great life. We're able to travel, and beautiful home, and wonderful, wonderful husband. I mean, while my back was messed up, he took such good care of me. It was awesome. So that's pretty much what I've decided. A lot of times people will say to me, well, the minute you give up, that's when you usually get pregnant. I know that, but that's not why I'm giving up. And that's not to say that I won't get pregnant, or I mean, I'm 33 now, and maybe when I'm 37 or something, but, you know, I have to kind of let myself off the hook right now. Even though I do really want children, I need to start focusing on the good things about my life. And I recommend that to all of you that are trying to conceive. I mean, I'm not talking about recommending quitting trying to get pregnant, but just looking at what your life is right now and being grateful and being happy about the fact, you know, there are people in other countries that don't even have a roof over their head. Actually, in this country, that don't even have a roof over their head. So, I mean, we really are blessed, you know, and it's just time to be in a place of gratitude about things. And honestly, I feel like a weight's been lifted. So it's good. And who knows, maybe I might make this room into like a yoga room, or like a whole bunch of candles and yoga mat, or like a really nice rug, something like that. Maybe I'll just put a whole bunch of plants in here. That would make it really peaceful and serene. Anyway, I guess that's about it. I hope you're doing well. Take care. Bye.